So this is not about democracy. This is a game, and it's a terrible game, and it's a secret game, and it's played by the CIA, which is the most important agency in the United States, because they have complete secrecy, complete unaccountability. There was one review of the CIA 49 years ago, the Church Committee, and nothing since then. And as one of our CIA directors, they're all, I was going to say one of the worst, but they're all the same by the time they get there, or by the time they leave there, because the agency takes them over. Pompeo said, as he was proudly explaining the role of the CIA to some Texas students a few years ago, and you can find it online, he said, what do we teach at the CIA? To lie, cheat, and steal. And that's a pretty good encapsulation of the methodology. And that is a very dangerous world being created that way. So China's not going to turn the U.S. into a dictatorship. Maybe the U.S. will turn into a dictatorship. Maybe it will just turn into a plain old plutocracy. Maybe it will turn into a military-industrial state as the complete dominance. I don't know. But it's not going to come from China. It's going to come from inside. That's where our risk is.
Let's go there in the orange jumper.
Thank you. I have a very simple question. What is your view on the upcoming US election, and who do you think will further, let's say, will make the situation better for all of us? Thank you.
Somebody else. I'm a firm non-voter in November. Sorry to say that's not the high-principled view. Everyone's supposed to vote and cherish their vote, but I will not vote for a candidate that doesn't meet the minimum threshold for being president of the United States. And we have two candidates, lead candidates, that don't, and so I decided I'm not voting, period. Because I want a candidate that actually has some possibility of doing something. Now, maybe they will, but not based on what they say. Every day is a profession of love for Israel's murderous reign in the Middle East. Okay, by itself, I wouldn't support that. That's enough for me, because Israel's committing a genocide in Gaza, and it's sickening, and it's obvious, and we see it every day, and if a candidate can't figure out to say something about that, I can't support them, period. But then Kamala Harris, who would normally be my candidate because I was a lifelong Democratic Party voter, although with great disappointment whether they won or lost, because when they won, I was disappointed with what they did. When they lost, I was disappointed that my candidate lost. So I've never been happy for a while about U.S. politics. It's been 5 miserable presidents, as far as I'm concerned, from Clinton, Bush, Obama, Trump, Biden. Awful. All of them. They brought us to the brink of nuclear war. Can't forgive them for that kind of recklessness. But when it comes to Ukraine, Harris says, we stand with Ukraine. Just everybody understand, what does it mean to stand with Ukraine like Boris Johnson stands with Ukraine? It means 2,000 Ukrainians killed or wounded severely every single day. That's not standing with Ukraine. That is standing with the destruction of Ukraine. It's exactly the opposite. And so that's a purely Orwellian idea that we're standing with Ukraine by continuing this war. And that's what she says, because she doesn't seem to have any idea other than what she's told to say, or she says her ideas, and either way I can't vote for her, and with Trump, don't even get me started. So the answer is I don't see either of them, based on what they're saying right now, doing much. But I think there's another point that is important in this. I'm not without hope for a quite different reason, and that is that our politics is not determined by American presidents. Our politics is determined by the security state apparatus. And what is happening right now is not in America's security interest.
Feeling trapped in your mortgage like a